Something I'm extremely grateful for is my parents instilling their work ethic in me, unintentionally, I think. They have just always been extremely hard workers, and even though they weren't able to help my brother and I by like giving us the resources and tools we needed while we were growing up to make good decisions that would like help our career or our education, they weren't able to do that, but they brought us to a country that they knew would be able to help us achieve our dreams. They showed me how rewarding it is to really work hard for the things that you want and need in life. And yeah, that's something I'll definitely always carry with me. I even remember a psychology project in high school where we had to write a letter to our future self. And I remember distinctly writing about how hardworking my parents were and how that's something I always admired about them. And yeah, my dad, like they both even worked multiple jobs at times to help sustain our family. And yeah, they make me just really proud. I'm just really proud of my parents for, doing what they were able to do and within all their circumstances that they were under. But it also had me reflecting on my retail career and how it started when I was like 9 or 8. It's really funny. I was living in Germany and in Sachsenhausen, Gartenstraße 103. That's, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I just know the address so well still. And kitty corner from my house was a girl that was a couple of years older than me, and she was holding or having a little rummage sale. And I decided to join her that one day that I saw her, and I introduced myself to her, asked, to join her. She allowed me or let me or whatever it was, and we became instant friends. And from that moment on, we, realized we lived super close to each other, and I went over to her apartment pretty frequently. She helped me memorize like poems that I had to learn for school, and we played a lot of Legos because her family had a lot of really intricate and cool Legos that we played with. Her parents were, I think one or both of her parents were artists, so they're really cool art everywhere, and I just really loved being at her apartment. Her name was Frauke. I remember her very well. So I would do those rummage sales with her every once in a while, and I really enjoyed doing that. And then when we came to the United States, I was really young. I was like 11 or 12 when we came here, and so between the ages of like 12 and 14, I worked. I also worked. I was a babysitter for some neighbors, and then I worked by just helping family friends like clean houses and mowing lawns and things like that, getting a family home ready for a sale and things like that. When I was in high school, I think it was between my freshman and sophomore year, I had the opportunity to apply for a program through the Outreach Community Center, who I talked about in my last video. I was involved in a program during high school and middle school. And through that, I had the opportunity to apply for a job that I then had for that summer. It was really fun. I was a teacher's aide for a summer program with some middle schoolers. And then for a short time during that time, I was also working with, I think they were preschool and or kindergartners. I don't remember, but I just remember that being one of the greatest joys at that time of my life. I just loved working with kids, and they just gave me so much energy, and it was such a joy to work there and get to know those kids. After that, I worked at a local grocery store being a bagger and grocery cart pusher, and then I worked at Walgreens, which I really enjoyed because that was my first experience working with beauty products, and I thought it was really fun. And then this happened while I was at COD. Actually, this must have been high school into college, because I remember, yes, this was still high school into college, and I remember going to the community college and thinking I was going to major in pharmacy, so I decided I was going to work at the pharmacy. And then I realized I wasn't very good at math and was failing pre-calculus, so then decided to drop that class and changed my major, which then led me to realizing that I don't really want to work in a pharmacy because I didn't enjoy it at all. And so then during that time, I decided to apply at Ulta because I had been in there once because my aunt had given me a gift card. And I loved it so much that I decided I had to work there, I guess. And I went into my local store. It was store number 17, which was like the 17th store ever opened. They are no longer open. They eventually relocated and became store number 453 in Bloomingdale, Illinois. The first one was Glendale Heights. And I still have lasting friendships from store 17. One of my best friends, Daria, she is like my ride or die. I met her during my stints at Ulta. I met a few other people that I still talk to this day with. Alex, Teresa, if you're ever watching, love you girls. Just so many people that I'm still in touch with that I've met through that first time getting hired at Ulta, which I'm so grateful for that happened. I didn't leave Walgreens on really good terms at this time in my life. I will admit that I did not do the right thing there. I kind of just stopped showing up at the pharmacy because I got hired at Ulta and I was just so unhappy at the pharmacy that I did not even write a letter of resignation. I didn't even talk to a manager. I kind of ghosted them, which I'm not very proud of that. I'm really sorry, Walgreens, that I did that. I know that was not the right thing to do, but the silver lining is that I think it was the right thing for me now because I am still with Ulta all these years later. So this was not like a get hired once and then I was there with Ulta forever. But no, this was the first time though that the Ulta vortex pulled me in. And I was there for a while. So I worked at Ulta. Then I also worked while I was in college still. I got another job working for a small business as it was like a small family-owned business, working with promotional products and print products and just like making deliveries to customers and helping out with different things within the small business. And that was really fun. And I did that while I worked at Ulta. Then I went away to college, and that was a couple of hours away from home. So I worked at the mall there, and I ended up leaving Ulta, I think, for that time being because I was gone, and there wasn't a local Ulta down there at the time. There is now, but there wasn't at the time. So I worked at Bath & Body Works instead, and I think I actually had also worked at Bath & Body up here. Yes, I did. I worked at Bath & Body Works, then I went away to college, then I got a job at Bath & Body Works down there as well. Then I came home for an internship for the summer, continued Bath & Body Works here, went back to school, came back for the last summer as a college student, worked as an intern while still at Bath & Body Works, and then at the end of that internship, so then I got promoted at Ulta, and I left Bath & Body Works and the internship because that was just for the summer anyway, and I was a manager in a store at like 19. Hey, editing me. I was 23. 20, and I did not thrive in that time period of my life. I was not doing a great job leading because I was not a leader. I was just getting by, literally, like mentally. I did not know what I was doing, to be honest. I didn't have a good example to follow and how to be a good leader. Let's just put it that way, I guess. And I believe that I was there for like a short time. Then I left to go work at a hotel. Then I left that to go work like a coding job through a temp agency. Then I left that to go back to then I went to the body shop. Worked at the body shop, met some really good friends through that as well. Then when my friend from the body shop, hi Amy, she left to go work for Ulta full-time at that point. Then I left the body shop to go work full-time for a small business where I did print and promotional work again. And I went to work part-time at Ulta and full-time there. That's what I did. Part-time at Ulta. I left body shop to go part-time at Ulta, and I worked at the small business. Then I left the small business to pursue Ulta full-time, and that's where I've been ever since. And that was in 20-something. Oh my gosh, what year was that? 2014? I think it was 2014 that I went back to Ulta full-time, or 2015, 2014, something like that. I will probably do a more concise video on that. But yeah, so I've been at Ulta corporate, no. So I went back to Ulta to stores, and I managed stores for a year or two. I don't even remember, for a couple of years. And again, just was able to really grow into who I was as a person and as a leader, and really kind of tried finding my footing and my leadership style. And I was just still growing up. I was in my mid-20s. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was just doing my best. And again, I was working with a bunch of my friends because that was my home store. I was working at my home store this entire time, like store 453. And that's what's special to me about having worked at Ulta for so long, is that I was able to not only make these connections at such an early point in my life, but fortunately I was able to continue those friendships and like expand on them, and they grew as I grew. These friendships grew too, and it's just been a really phenomenal experience for me to have been here for so long. And I have so many core memories having worked there too, and a lot of like timelines in my life that line up to certain timelines of me having worked at Ulta that really line up. And a really funny coincidence. When I was pregnant with my first child, so my son Landon, I was at the corporate office when I was pregnant with him already, and I ran into the person that kind of had brought me back into the store world to be there full time, a district manager that I was had at the time. And he commented on me being pregnant and asked how far along I was, and whatever week I said, I think it was like 20 or 21 that I was, whatever week of my pregnancy it was. And he said, "Oh, you're like right along with our like fiscal years," or whatever week number we were at the time. I were in like week 20 and I was 21 weeks pregnant. And it was so funny. But yeah, so I was able to gauge my pregnancy by like what week we were working on at the time, or what week we were in at the time. Oh my gosh, I'm so confused. But yeah, it's just been a really, really great experience for me, and been a lot of change in 2024, and I'm just so grateful to be able to say that I still work at Ulta in this time of my life, because I grew up here in a way. Like I was like a 19-year-old teenager, and now I'm a 30-old woman, and I just get to still enjoy living this life and working where I do feel like I belong for once. Like I feel like I found where I belong, and I'm finding my groups of friends that I feel like I finally fit in with, and I'm finding out who I am and what I like and what I'm good at. And it's been really fun to be able to do that while working with Ulta and building these relationships and connections that I've been able to curate over the years that I've been here. I think I will share more about my experience working at Ulta, because that's a really fun topic for me to chat about. So there will be more to come on that. But yeah, I am Ulta Beauty, and I am so excited to be part of this great organization that has brought me so much joy into my life, and has shown me and opened my eyes to show me how joyful life can be, even if it takes time to see it. You can find the joy in every day. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I hope you will subscribe so that we can see each other in the next one. Talk to you then. Bye!